Good morning, internet. Right, it is Tuesday morning. It's the 28th of November and it is an absolutely beautiful day, considering that it is the 28th of November. So when I say beautiful, it's dry, it's sunny, and at the moment it's reasonably warm. I mean, you know, we're not talking shorts weather here, but it's not too bad. So I thought to myself, right, since I've had this the meteor, one thing I haven't taken it or been on it is round by the coast. And of course, the people that follow me will know that I am lucky enough to live very close to the coast. Dearie me, hey, there's some tongue twisters here, isn't there? So when I saw the weather this morning, I thought, right, okay, it would be a good time to take the bike for a little spin and go around by the coast. So there you go. Now, hopefully the roads are reasonably dry, so, but they're not what you call mud free, to say the least, because our farming community are very busy this time of the year, and of course they're ploughing up all the fields, getting it all ready for next year. Oh, I forgot what bike I was on then. There I was, trying to get me, trying to get me feet where they don't exactly go on this bike. Yeah, so the farmers obviously are all out getting the fields ploughed and getting it all ready for next year. I think we'll put the visor down now because it is a bit chilly. Mind you, it is only 11 o'clock, so to be fair, well, no, 12 o'clock, 2 minutes past 12 according to that. Okay, so I didn't quite get my my timing right, eh? Never mind. Right, look at this though, eh? I mean, isn't it nice to be blessed with this kind of weather? Back to the old tow and heel, eh? Right then, let's go and see the sea, hey, as they say. So the video that I put on yesterday, when I did the comparison between my two bikes, and I was also on about the, you know, the little review that Itchy Boots gave, I was quite pleased. It got some decent views, so yeah, obviously I was doing the right thing. And I do believe that the actual figures, the prices and everything else have been officially released for the UK and Europe today. I'm sure that other people will put it up, to be honest with you. I mean, that's fine, you know, and it's good to give the information what the people want. I'm not particularly that interested on knowing what it's selling for, or although from comments that I've heard, it's extremely well priced. So yeah, I mean, that alone, you know, has got to be a really good thing. But I'm sure that they're going to have a lot of success with this new Himalayan. I really am. There's that much hype about it, you know, that yeah, I mean, great, excellent. I still, you know, like I said yesterday in the little video that I did, I like my Himalayan. You know, I've got it exactly how I want it to be. I've got all my bits and pieces that I've put on it. So for me, I'm definitely going to stick with my Himalayan for a bit. Well, I say for a bit, got to be careful because the wife watches these, but no, all joking apart, for the, you know, for the foreseeable future, because to be fair, you know, it does exactly what I want it to do, and I think that's very important. You can certainly feel one thing with this bike that I do miss is that I haven't got the temperature gauge, but it's, as far as I can remember, looking at my phone just before that I came out, it's about 7 degrees, so yeah, it is a wee bit chilly this morning, and I've got the thermals on. I thought to myself, I ain't going to freeze to death. I think this is the trouble with a lot of these, well, not the trouble, because it's nice to have days like this in the winter, you know, but you sort of look out and you see that sunshine and think, oh yeah, you know, this is great. The only trouble is, you know, that you sometimes don't dress accordingly, and you get out there and you absolutely freeze to death. So nice bit of sunshine there, full on. Again, it's just so nice. We've had awful weather. In fact, the last video that I put on when I went out on this bike, which has got to be over a week now, and since I put that video on, it hasn't stopped raining. This is literally the first day without rain, you know. And I don't know about you people, but I'm not very good at just sitting at home in the house doing nothing. It absolutely drives me up the wall. I could always take up jogging, I suppose. I think those days are long gone, eh? Long gone. Got a few more trees down here. Look, we haven't. I don't know if I've actually. Have I come this route? I might have come this route. I can't remember. I mean, no matter where you go around here, there's trees down here. That storm, you know. And I know I keep going on about it, but I don't know. It's just done such a load of damage. I'm surprised, I really am surprised that there wasn't more structural damage done, you know, houses and, you know, general buildings and that, but there wasn't, and how it escaped it is a miracle, really, you know. You have to be very careful around this area. Oh, good Lord, Jesus, that was a bump and a half this time of the year, especially places like this, look, where you're coming up to a farm, because yeah, you can really get some muck on the road. And of course, when you get the cows crossing, which I think we've just missed, you can get some fair dollops on the road as well. You don't want to be riding through a cow pat, eh? And that's spraying all up your legs. That's one thing you certainly don't want. This sky is lovely and clear today though, look at that, eh? Beautiful, beautiful blue sky. Now, here's your mud look, see? Like I said, they got to do the job, you know. It's what farmers doing it, but sometimes it's like so much mud on the road that it makes you wonder how they get away with it, you know. Surely it wouldn't hurt to clear it up. I mean, that back there was nothing, you know, compared to some of them. They come out of the fields, and I know they can't help it, you know. Once they've been ploughing in this weather, obviously, you know, the mud comes out on the tractors and the trailers, and then it gets all literally thick all over the roads. Well, you would think it wouldn't hurt them if they carried a shovel with them and got it up, you know. I mean, not everybody wants to go through it, do we? Right, so today I thought we'd have just a little ride down to a harbour town called O'Dear. Now, you've been with me round there many times before, and yeah, we can see the sea. The roads are still very wet, they're not drying out much. At all. I thought I'd missed neutral then, but I hadn't. I'd gone. Still, never mind. Actually, I was just thinking about it. I've probably come the worst way around here because there's quite a few. This is the road with the roadworks on. I should have gone the other way really, but still, never mind. We're here now, so we'll just go through the roadworks as much as I. Whoa! Hey! Seriously. I didn't see you, honestly, she says, as you end up going through the side of a car. I was too busy thinking about what I was going to cook tonight. Anyway, enough of that. I mustn't be sarcastic. Sarcasm is not good. But a bit of respect for other road users would be good. Yeah, but the roads just, it's the trouble with this time of the year. I think we've had that much rain, you know, and even though it's sunny, there's no strength in the sun. It's, you know, there's no heat, obviously, this time of the year. And of course the roads stay wet for ages, and that is the problem when you do get mud all over the place. It just doesn't dry out, you know, so it just stays there. And unfortunately, your bikes or other vehicles get absolutely covered in it. My car is absolutely filthy, but of course, you know, at least the car you can sort of be lazy and just stick it through the car wash, but a bit different with a bike, really, I suppose. I know you can put it through a car wash, well, no, not a car wash, but you know, a sort of jet washy thing, you know. Although I try not to do that with mine, you know. I try to do it the old bucket and sponge job, eh? Yeah, but a pleasant ride this morning. Cold, yeah, a little bit, but very pleasant. I'm just wondering what the weather's like where you are in the UK. I know we don't get a lot of different weather really between us and the UK, the part of France that I'm in, so we get a little bit. One thing that I do know we get, and you know you don't realise this, and it does make a difference, is where's all the traffic going? Look, like a ghost town. Anyway, is now this is going to be bumpy here, I tell you. This is horrible, this bit. One thing that I did notice is that in the UK now it's sort of dark by what, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you know you don't really, I mean, dark nights are horrible. I mean, at least here it's sort of dark about 6:15 ish. You know, if it's a decent day. If it's a really horrible cloudy day, then yeah, you know, it's a little bit early, but generally about 6:15. I hate the dark nights, I really do. And winter, I don't like winter. I don't like none of this. It's just not a nice time of the year at all. Traffic lights. I don't particularly like traffic lights either. Well, we shouldn't take too long, I don't think. They always put the countdowns on in France. There we go. And you can sit there, which is fine if you've just got there, or you can count down and you think, oh god, it's going to take ages to get there. So sometimes counting down can be a bit of a soul destroying, you know. Anyway, enough waffling on about traffic lights. Do you know, they've been doing these roadworks here, this is 2 years now. 2 years! I mean, I dare say when it's done, it's going to be nice, hopefully. In fact, I'm sure it will. I mean, this bit that we're on now, this was the first stage of it. This was about 3 years ago. by the time they finish that bit back there, they'll be doing this bit again, eh? Oh, I don't know. Last summer was fun, obviously, because this is quite a popular place, tourist place in the summer, and so yeah, you know, the traffic is extremely busy, you know, and with the roadworks as well. I mean, oh yeah, that caused all sorts of fun, that did. I mean, I know they're going to do it, but you think they'd just sort of get in there and like hit it and get it done and get it over with, but no, I'm afraid that doesn't always work. Well, the little bike's still running fine, eh? Purring away quite nicely. Still fun to ride, still a pleasure to ride. Not too sure what all that was about. Everybody coming to a bit of an abrupt stop. So the tide's out today at the moment. I'm fishing off the bridge here, look. So obviously the tide's coming in, see? So this is Odeon. They'll be putting all the Christmas lights up around here soon, and well, I presume they will. They normally do, and it's normally quite nice as well. It's normally a nice show, you know. So if they do, and when they do, have to do a little ride round on the evening, and cut the Christmas lights, eh? It's normally started by now, actually, but I can't see any as yet. God, that sun's bright. There's nothing worse than when the sun's bright, and you have to be so careful because they back out here. You know, they stop at the various bits and pieces, and the bars and the shops and that, and they just back out. And to be fair, like, they're blinded by the sun as well, but you know, particularly when they end up with saying hello to one of them abruptly. Right, so we'll just see what I mean? The cars coming from everywhere. I mean, it's beautiful to have the sun, but sometimes it can be a bit blinding. I always find this an extremely strange place to put a speed bump. Right where you want to get. I mean, you know, okay, you don't want to race up here, but at the same time it is a bit of an hill. Again, in the summer there's an awful lot of people around here, so you know, I suppose I get it. So there we go, tide well out, look. Very quiet today, very peaceful. As in wind, it's peaceful, very calm, and in people it's peaceful, very calm as well. So yeah, really nice. So we're going to get to the end here, and then we'll we'll turn round and we'll come back, and then we'll take the estuary road up and go back home, as I say. But yeah, so there you go, there's the ocean, eh? Bon voyage. God, there's some big holes here. Never used to be like this at all. This is quite actually, I think what we'll do is we'll just go, that's it. Dave's going all the way up there because there's nothing else up there, and get the view going back this way. Yeah, that's a professional trawler coming in there. Look, see, I don't know, hopefully the GoPro will get it, but yeah, they have to wait until there's a certain amount of tide in here because the channel is very low here. They've drenched it, dredged it with a dredger a couple of years back, but it fills up because the tide, there's such a movement of tide here that it fills up so quickly with sand. So they have to, you know, depending on if they get back a bit earlier, they have to sit outside for a bit and wait until they can come in, like that. But that across there, so that across there, that's all the professional fishermen. That's where the fish is brought in, and it's all whatever they do with it, you know, before it's shipped off to the various factories, which there are a few factories, fish factories around here, who then tin it and cook it and skin it and dead it and tail it and whatever you do to fish. My my wife works at one of the biggest around, certainly this area, called Captain Cook, and I mean, it's an industry. It's been here for years, you know. Obviously, I suppose, you know, any coastal area is going to have something to do with fish. Although, I mean, years ago, Odeon was a huge it was a huge fishing port, but now, like this here, it's more, you know, there's just the professional bit down there, you know, and the rest of it now is pleasure fishing. You know, all these are privately owned. So, but even this is sort of declining now, because, you know, one, to rent your place on the pontoon is far from cheap, and you know, the cost now of running a boat, you know, by the time you've insured it, you've got your license, you've got your all your bits and pieces and the fuel to run it, people are actually now sort of giving it up, you know. And with the cost of living, it's took a big chunk really out of, you know, and people have to, you know, people have to do the cutbacks, don't they, you know, and boats, and it's not just a running, you know, it's maintaining a boat. A lot of people, I mean, I had a boat here, I kept a boat here, and you don't realise, which I didn't, my boat was down there, and I didn't realise that, you know, every year you got to take it out, you got to scrape all the barnacles off it and all the bits and pieces, and then you got to anti-foul it with this special paint and do this and do that, and go, oh God blimey. I mean, okay, I suppose, like, you know, us with the motorbikes, you got to maintain them. I mean, yeah, you know, that's it. And but it's a bit of a difference in it, you know. I mean, you get your motorbike, you know, and if you're going to service it, for instance, you know, you just get it in your garage or outside or wherever you do your service, and you know, you get stuck in. And when I had my boat, I had to pay the local bloke to sort of lift it out the water, you know, and then it had to be put up on stands on the side so I could work under it and, you know, get it all nice and I mean, it was it was a lot of work to do. And to be honest with you, and I think I've touched on this on earlier videos of mine, I think what it was, when I moved to France, you know, I've been a motorbike, you know, a biker all my life. So when I moved here, yeah, it was great, you know. I mean, the roads were fantastic and I loved that. But, you know, I was by the coast, and, you know, I got this port here, and all of a sudden, you know, you think, oh, do you know what? I think I'll get a boat. It just, you know, and it seemed like a good idea, and I knew nothing about boats, absolutely nothing about boats at all, you know, and I didn't go into it enough, you know, I didn't research it enough, I didn't look at it enough, and I wish I'd never done it, but I did, you know. It's one of them things. It was a midlife crisis, I think, that I was going through, and I just had to get it out of my system. And yeah, you know, I understand there are people that love boats, they've had boats all their lives, and I think if you've grew up round boats, like I grew up round bikes, then it's a different thing. But I was sort of knocking on 50 when I came out here. So at 50 to think, oh, you know what, I'm going to get a boat and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and nah, not as easy as what you think. But I did it anyway. I did it. I mean, I got all my licenses, because in France you have to have a license. You can't just get a boat, because I thought you could, which I did. I got a boat and I thought, right, okay then, because in the UK that's what you do. You just get a boat, you know, and you get it on the road, you get it in the, you know, in the water, and off you toddle. Well, not here. You need a license, you know. You've got to take your test, theory and practical, and you've got to have a license. It's as simple as that. And if you ain't got a license, you're in trouble. And the gendarmes do monitor the waterways, you know. I had them come up alongside me the once, and there's certain things that you have to carry on your boat, all safety things, you know, flares, anchors, ropes, first aid, different bits of first aid kit, reflection mirrors, flags, you name it, you got to carry it. And you know, you got to make sure that you're up to date with it every year. So yeah, you know, it's, and I knew none of this, so you know, I had to get my license. Then I had to get my VHF license, you know, because of the radio. Again, you can't just go and get yourself a radio. You gotta, you know, you gotta have your operator's license, which again is more, you know, more theory, more exams. So I've got it all, you know, and you know, I mean, yeah, okay, it's great, you know, it's another feather in one's cap, as they say. But yeah, you know, I don't regret it, but it's certainly not as easy to keep and run about as a lot of people think. It isn't, you know, but still. So this is Ponquois again. We've been through here many times with me, the medieval village. They normally do a nice Christmas market here. Again, I've heard it say that this year some of these markets, the Christmas markets, just aren't going to be done because, you know, people... Well, last year it was a little bit of a waste of time. They did the markets, but you know, there was a bit of a washout, really. You know, trouble is, a lot of the French markets tend to be these craft markets. And don't get me wrong, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, that's great. But handmade crafts are, you know, people, you know, they make all these things, and they are nice, but of course they want the money for them, you know. And the trouble is, they ain't cheap. So, and I'm not being funny, but a lot of these things they're not necessities. Far from it, you know. And so yeah, I think a lot of these craft markets will sort of be dying a death soon. You cannot feel the difference of temperature when you're when you're riding in the sun or not in the sun. You know, you can feel it on your back. Again, I wouldn't want to do a long distance ride this time of the year. I really wouldn't, you know. I mean, pootling around here, coming out for the spin, keeping the bikes, you know, running and used, that's great. But like I said, I wouldn't want to be coming out for too long. I mean, I haven't got heated grips on neither of my bikes. I did think about it, you know, I did. but I don't use my bikes that much in the winter, so I thought to myself, you know, I couldn't see the necessity to spend that sort of money. So I thought, right, I don't think I'll bother. So the ends of the fingers, I must admit, are a little bit cold now. The rest of me is not too bad. Like I said, I've got my thermals on. So the rest of me is pretty good at the moment anyway. Do you know, the petrol, I mean, I know I haven't used this bike much, you know. I mean, I came back from when I picked it up, and this is the second ride out on it, but you know, loads of fuel in it still, which is good. Definitely feel the temperature come down a bit now. I suppose you know, it's nice to have a naked bike, you know. I mean, for years when I rode the BMW, you know, you could tuck your knees in behind that fairing, and you could put the screen up, you know, because it was electronically adjustable. Put it up, and you could really avoid a lot of the wind on you, and that makes a difference. Whereas, you know, I mean, again, this is back to basics in it with these bikes, you know. These are back to me in the, you know, in my youth, and that's why I love them so much, you know. The only difference is when I was in my youth, I didn't feel the cold so much. But yeah, I mean, oh God, the suspension is definitely a lot harder than the Himalayan, and if you do hit a bit of a bumpy road, I mean, I got to be honest, the French roads in general are pretty good. They are, you know, they maintain their roads pretty good. But when you do actually get a bit of a bumpy road, especially when you're talking, you know, and yes, before anybody says it, I do talk a lot. A few trees down there, look, again, everywhere. Well, I think, so here's a bit of mud here, look. You know, you got to be careful. I say, it's like my son who, you know, he's just started on his adventure of the two wheels on his scooter, and he said to me, he said, oh, you know, I didn't realise, Dad, that there was so much mud on the roads, you know, and you don't. And I said, I know. I said, you know, you got to be so careful of it. You know, I mean, new riders, luckily, you know, I talk to him a lot and I try to make him aware, but you know, you get some of the new riders and they don't think, you know, and before you know it, they're off, and it's not just them getting hurt, you know, it's the damage to the scooters or bikes or whatever it is that they're on. Oh, do you know, I'm so much longing. I'm so much longing for the spring. I really am. Get some nice warm weather back. Although, you know, this summer's been pretty rubbish. We had nothing but rain all the time, so there wasn't exactly much to shout about, I've got to be honest. I'd like to get some camping trips in this year, not long ones, just to get out under the canvas, you know, a couple of nights at a time. I love it, I think it's fantastic, I really do. You got to be careful on this area. You get there's a big farm here, and which is down there. It's been pretty clean here actually recently, but this can get well muddy here. It really can. My daughter's house there. Oh, let's get in front of the tractor, shall we? Don't want to get stuck behind him. Oh, oops, a daisy. He's gone the other way anyway, but oh, my mirror's just come loose. I shall have to have a look at that when we get back. It's strange. Did I forget to tighten it up? I must have done. I can see myself now, look. Hey! Oh. That's very strange, that is, the way that's gone. There's a little job to do when we get back to the garage. I think it was when I put it was when I put these mirrors back on, after putting the mirror extenders on. I wasn't too sure, I was umming and ahhing, because I'd bought some other mirrors, and I didn't know which ones to put on, and I don't think that I actually thread locked these on. The mirror extenders are thread locked on, but I don't think I actually thread lock those. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder, did I ever actually do them? And then it didn't come loose. It didn't come loose on the other run, so a bit strange. Probably one of my kids walked into the mirror, if the truth be known. Eh? Clumsies themselves they are. I thought that the actual view on that mirror had changed a bit. Still, never mind. See, look at this. Even though the sun's been out here, the road is still extremely wet. Great. Talking to tractors, but there you go. Hey, home safe and sound for a little run. Well, there you go, folks. That was just a quick run to the coast, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.